All right, today we're going to be talking about a very unique NFT use case, Elisha. We've had other videos before where we've talked about NFTs having different types of utility. We talked about restaurants, entry to
Hmm.
restaurants. We talked about maybe it's a virtual goods or physical
Hmm.
goods that might come with it. And I wanted to show a really, really interesting one today that is about, if you've ever watched the show Squid Game, one of the top
Yes,
grossing TV shows of all time
was
on
interesting
Netflix.
show.
Very interesting show. There's actually an NFT based game that is based off of the Squid Game. And I
Hmm.
wanted to kind of show you what that is and show you some hype around it, just to show kind of a unique aspect of what's kind of happening with NFTs.
Cool.
Before we do that, I want to do a quick introduction. I'm Johnny Rodriguez, our Strategic Innovation Director for Fresh Labs, part of Fresh Consulting, and I am in our Austin, Texas office. This is kind of where we run kind of Fresh Labs, and with me I have my coworker and partner in crime, Elisha, who is our Technical Innovation Director. And he
Yes.
jumps into a lot of the technical details and also adds a really unique perspective to a lot of our conversations. So welcome.
Cool. Yeah. Nice to be here. And I'm coming from the Seattle office side, so it'll be interesting to have the collaboration between different regions, and we'll have more content coming soon where I'm gonna be going to the Austin, and then we'll cover some events there as well in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'll be great. All right, so let's dive into this unique NFT use case of the Squid Game NFT game. Okay, so let me share my screen. Actually, let me start with the video.
5 days, 5 games. Don't get eliminated. Okay. Internet game. Oh, interesting. They have the .game domain.
Yes, they do. So this is called Internet Game. Internet.game, and we are in no way affiliated with Internet Game, and we don't endorse if there's anything that happens that's that maybe is not representative of kind of our values. It's just an interesting highlight to something that has been interesting to kind of follow and participate in. So I wanted to talk to you about it. So what you saw there in that video is essentially, if you saw Squid Games, the way it worked is it's a there's a lot of games that are battle royale. It's kind of like fight to the death until there's one person left. Squid Game was not quite a battle royale, but it's essentially these different games that you went through that eliminated a certain amount of people, and by the end of it there was a winner that won, what was it, the equivalent of $467 million or something like that. And it was just sitting in this place where you could see it at all times. There's a lot of rewards, and then the last winner won that kind of quantity, right? That was the premise of Squid Game, and they did some not so ethical things in the TV show. And so in this particular kind of unique NFT use case of Internet Game, there are 5 days where they will have 5 games that are playable on a mobile device, in the browser, and a website. There is no particular skills that are involved. It's kind of a luck-based game, just like a
Squid Game. Yeah.
Yep. And the idea is that you just don't get eliminated, and you keep moving on to the next round, to the next round, to the next round. And the ticket that you need to be able to participate in the game, in this case, is something called a game token.
Game
like
token.
this. It looks like this,
Okay.
and it's an NFT that can be purchased on OpenSea. Called NFT, and it becomes essentially your ticket into playing the game. And there are 8,000 total tickets, essentially game tokens, to be able to kind of enter in the game.
Interesting. So it's like you bring your money to participate in the game first, and you could lose it all, right? If you don't.
You could lose it all, and the NFT wasn't a ton to mint, and then even buying wasn't too bad. But the idea is that, if you can imagine, let me show you this first. We talk about the prize pool. So they have spent 397 ether of their 407 ether earned. So if I go to like ether right now is about 29.48 times, we're talking about 1.1 million spent on blue chip NFTs. So you can go in and see Bored Ape Yacht Club. There's 2 of those: Clone X, Mutant Apes, Neo. These are all NFTs that I've been keeping an eye on for a long time. Doodles. They even bought land. Look at that. in certain metaverses, you see Deadfellas as one I recognize. CyberKong, Alien Friends, like big blue chip. There's the Adidas one, blue chip NFTs essentially, and there's a lot. And you can see that it tells you the place number, and it goes all the way to 99th place. And some of these are worth a little bit less, and you can see that they actually do own it. So it's not some scam. You can see that they purchased it. If you were an NFT holder and a player of the game, then you got to vote in the Discord channel to say, okay, which one do you want to buy? One of these 4 or one of these, right? And so you can go. And so the prizes of getting first place and getting a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, right, is like really cool. It's like this idea of like, wow, now you get your, let's do this math again, 2,700. So first place is getting $267,000 is the winning place. And then it just goes down from there. 53, 22, 6, 17, it goes down. And so the chances are so if you look at that kind of NFT prize pool, it becomes kind of interesting. So the way it works basically, and I'm going to swap my screen out here for a second. So the way it works, Elisha, is I was part of the process of buying some tokens. So I actually bought 2 game tokens, and they have to be in 2 separate wallets. And essentially what happens is at the very start, so when it was like, okay, game 1 is starting tomorrow, what you do is you have to actually go and connect your NFT wallet. So let me show you what this looks like. So if I go in and I say, let's play now.
Do you need multiple tokens to play it, or?
Oh, you just need it's a single playable,
Okay.
yeah, single token. And you have to actually go and what's called insert your game token. So if you go to insert, you'll notice that I'm logged in with my crypto wallet, and there it is. It's active. And you can see that my game token 6025 is active, and I use the other one on a separate wallet, and that one's also been active. And so what happens is by activating my game token, it removes it off of out of OpenSea as available to purchase. So all of those are now staked in the game essentially, right? So it's like, hey, they're locked in to play the games.
Okay.
And at each round they release them again. So imagine 8,000 gets brought down to a smaller number, which let me actually show you the number, Elisha. Let me go in and log in. There were 6,796 total people that staked their tokens. Round 1 has already finished. Technically, it was a free give. I mean, they kind of gave it away for free on that one. But round 2 is finished, and there are 4,663 total players left. And I'll talk about some of the games they did. But there's another game called Grid Swap that's coming tomorrow. 1 day, 22 hours. And they were so overwhelmed, it's even telling you, like, we're taking a 1-day break so the team can sleep. Game 2 will start Thursday, March 3rd at 12. And it's giving you the leaderboard of, you know, where you sit in the order for everything. What score you have so far, where you rank among everyone. So I was ranked 1412 out of, you know, now 4,663. And there's been some really interesting games so far. So let me pause there. But does that make sense? So the idea is you play round 1, your token's locked, you play round 1, and it eliminates people, and then the token then becomes something you can resell. So you can imagine the value of the NFT going up, because then it's like, well, I want to keep playing to see that if I can win, right? And so other players might go and purchase on OpenSea to buy other available ones. So if I go again right now, there's so many that are inactive. These are all people that have lost in a round. And I can just go by like, okay, what's the actual status? Okay, I only want to see
used to be
tokens.
active, and then it turned into inactive image. Is that correct?
Yes, they dynamically updated all of the actual kind of NFT kind of thumbnails. So it's kind of a creative way to see if it's available or not. So I can see that this one is still active, and I can go and buy this right now for $500 if I wanted, and I could get access to this one.
If it's active, is it different from being bound to like a user, or like anybody with active token can play the game basically?
Anybody with an active token can continue to play the game. So right now the value's still pretty low. I'm imagining when it gets down to the last few rounds and there's a chance that you get first place, I'm imagining, my perspective is that this will increase to about to definitely more than 1 Ethereum. It'll increase to a lot more because, again, you have a chance to win between 1 and 100. It's like, if you get in the top 10, you're talking about hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, and people are going to want to sell those. So there's smart people that probably bought 100 tokens, got 100 different wallets, and they're just keep going round by round and eliminating a big number of tokens. And by the end, they might say, well, I want to keep one for me, but I also want to sell some for a few ether, and then they'll end up making profit. So there's an element there of like NFT and investment stuff, but more than anything, it's just about the game and giving you access, and you're selling your ticket into the next round, selling your ticket to the next round.
Yeah. Can you just buy the ticket and not play until the last round, or do you have to?
No, because it's not available.
Oh.
You have to continue to play. They only continue if you play the particular game.
Got
so the game yesterday caused it was a big psychological experience in my opinion, because what you imagined the game one is like, it's a matching game. You go and you say, do you want this one or do you want this one? And I actually will show you on Twitch for a quick second. I'm not going to play the whole thing here, but there is some examples of some playable things from some people here. Game one. So I'm going to just show you what it was here. So it was essentially a game. That was the title of the game. Here are the instructions. So I don't know if you can see this. It's essentially a memory game. It basically flips it. It's a server-side rendering, so that when you click on it, it says revealing, and then it reveals what it is, right? And you got 3 attempts to play it. So it looked like this. And again, of course, this would work on mobile or desktop. So you click, and you want the least amount of moves, and that essentially moves you to the next round. The game after that, which I'll show you for a second, it was called Groupthink. And the rules were this. And this is what happened yesterday. It basically said there's 3 buttons, A, B, C. Just click one of them. Click A, B, or C, whatever you want. Whatever is the least popular option will get 100 points. Whatever is the most popular option, you get 50 points. And if you're in the middle tier, right, with the middle option ranked by popularity, then you get eliminated. And so basically, and then they're like, oh, and by the way, the Discord might be your friend. Like, as in, jump into Discord. And so the way the Discord worked, and I'll just jump to show this. So in the Discord, it was basically, it showed A, B, C, and then you go and like click on A, and it essentially shows everybody that's discussing A, and you can see the total number of people in the Discord channel that have joined A, that have joined B, and that have joined C. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they clicked A, B, or C in the game. That just happens to be that they're joining in the chat. So you have to think like, is the Discord matching? Are people lying? And so this is why it's called groupthink. It's this big psychological thing. So a lot of people are like, we're going to dump from C and we're going to go into A. We're going to go from A to B. And so you just didn't want to get stuck in this middle group. What I ended up doing was essentially moving both of my tokens into the highest number of Discord users, which was B. And it turned out that was the most popular. So as you can see, when I log in, I only earned 50 points. If I go back to this, I only earned 50 points. So anyway, just kind of some explanation of how the game works, and there's some psychology involved. Looks like there's more games coming. Again, it's 5 total games that will eventually eliminate everyone. So I'm anticipating them to be even crazier and crazier. And this, at the end of this whole series, let's say I win nothing, it's just kind of a fun little experiment. I just wanted to be a part of a psychological NFT game experience so that I could speak to it like something like this. Also, I'm interested in seeing if I can win. That would be cool. But it's kind of showing, again, this kind of unique take on an NFT as a virtual ticket to be able to enter and participate in a game show, right? That's going on in the internet, where you have thousands of people that are really interested in participating in it. And so I'll let you know if I win anything or if I get eliminated. Most likely I'll get eliminated, right? Like you would imagine, if it's a luck-based game where you're just clicking A, B, C, and it's psychological like that, then there's no technique or strategies involved at that point. You just win or you lose. And so it'll be interesting to see.
I think it's a very interesting concept of organizing like entertainment that maybe we're used to more watching the TVs when we were little, right? Like the psychological game of like which wall do you run into, or which one of the four answers do you answer, and you can ask your friend, and it bringing the whole entertainment into the internet, but not just like randomly doing like, oh, we're gonna give away a laptop if you win. It's like a community creation. NFT is a reward in itself. It's not like some TV sponsor who paid for the vacation to Hawaii or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like you win this community NFT, which has a value, but to participate, you also have to stake your own, NFT that you have to purchase, and
Yep.
it's
And then you
all in
participate.
blockchain, right? So you can
Yeah.
track who is participating like more transparently, and not like leaves less room for hacking
Yeah.
or like cheating on the game, or possibly, and most likely it is a mechanism that can prevent you from cheating. I think you can still cheat, like if you obviously if you run this game, the answers, right? You can
Yep.
see real-time answers, but besides that, there are not many ways where you can like cheat into play the game, and you have to put your own stake in it, which is very interesting and kind of brings a lot more psychological thing. If I'm
Yeah.
just playing a free game, right, it's like, well, like I have nothing to lose,
But if you spend a few $100s at the
Yeah.
beginning, or if you ended up joining round 3 or round 4 because you're like, oh man, this could be really cool, I'm gonna pay 1 ether, like I'm gonna pay $3,000 just to play the next round.
Mhm.
And if you're rich, you might say, I want to buy 10. I still want to see if I can get. So it's like it ends up becoming riskier and riskier if you're coming in later in the game.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I was just gonna share that, like your point of entertainment. I think there's more like this that we're seeing again from unique use cases. This one's called Mad Realities, and there's a specific show called Proof of Love, and it's like, welcome to the casting for Proof of Love. You connect your wallet, which by the way, I don't have access to this one. I am playing the internet game one, so you're seeing that I'm in here, and it tells me that I don't actually have access. But the idea is that you're literally swiping left and right to say, do you want this person in the game or not? In the actual show, there's going to be an actual TV show that's a dating game, and you are selecting who's a part of it, who's not, what dates they go on. Like, it's essentially like, it has a whole, this is all connected to Notion, but like, here's what it is. It's interactive by NFT holders, nominating bachelors, eliminating, guessing outcomes, things like that. So it's essentially like giving you direct access to influence a TV show that you normally would just watch on TV and maybe tweet about from your couch. And now as an NFT holder, you actually have a voting rights essentially to say what happens and who gets in and who gets out. It isn't like this bachelor, like who gets the rose. It's like, did the NFT holders like you? Should you stay or not? And it becomes interesting because you can imagine thinking like other types of reality games, reality TV shows, where it's like it might be showing on a live TV thing, and it's like, hey, if you're an NFT holder, go vote right now, and it shows you of your 10,000 owners of that NFT who's voted on what and what's happening, and so you're right. I think we're seeing some really unique ways where somebody is like claiming access, and then that's unlocking some additional access for something that might be live or happening in real time, like a TV show or entertainment. So really fascinating stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really fascinating how they tie it or utilize the NFT, right? It's not just the 2D art that has like, some abstract amount of value. It's a utility that you can purchase, and it's a way for you to kind of show like your stake in it. It's like kind of like a joining like some kind of club to have access to this thing, or you pay subscription to become like a member of like some organization, right? And today we can do that with the NFT as opposed to paying like a US dollar cash value to gain access to something.
That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably mention other kind of unique NFT things that we talked about, entertainment and maybe gaming a little bit. So definitely check us out on our YouTube channel. It's just Fresh Labs. That's where we post everything. We also sometimes go live, and you'll see us go live on our personal kind of Twitter accounts at TryJohnny and at Elisha Tirada. And just to give a quick plug, we will be at South by Southwest in Austin, and we're hoping to meet some people that are doing interesting things in the XR and kind of metaverse space. Web3 kind of crypto. So if you're interested in joining, getting some coffee, getting together for dinner or lunch, something like that, we'd love to meet you. And if you have something kind of unique that we could cover, it would be great to have you on the show as well. So